My hand was trembling, a clumsy weapon I was being forced to wield against the one person in our entire school who seemed to exist on a different plane of reality. Then, a voice, smooth and confident, echoed in the hollow space of my skull. It wasn't my voice. It belonged to the boy I was about to strike. He Eurostrayed so ridiculously cute. How have I never noticed him before? If that pretty hand of his actually slaps me, Eater Eurostrayed going to feel incredible. My world tilted on its axis. I was caught in a grimy back alley, about to assault the Skoola Eurostrayed golden boy, Sebastian Carter, and apparently, he was going to enjoy it. It had all started with a metallic tang of recyclable cans. The sidewalk was a treasure trove of crumpled aluminum and discarded plastic. Each piece a small promise of bus fare or a decent lunch. I was hunched over a garbage bin, my fingers probing the filth for a dented water bottle, when the voices drifted out from the narrow alley beside me. One was coarse, like sandpaper on stone. "Hey, golden boy. Hand over the cash." The response was anything but rattled. It was crisp, cool, and laced with an unmistakable thread of boredom. "I don't Eurostrayed have any." I froze, my hand still wrapped around the bottle. That was Sebastian Carter, the schooler Eurostrayed's untouchable prince. Perfect grades, devastating looks, an aura of effortless superiority. I Eurostrayed recognize that voice anywhere, even if he Eurostrayed never so much as glanced in my direction before. "No cash. Your familiar Eurostrayed's practically made of money, man. Don't Eurostrayed play us for fools," the gravelly voice pressed. Sebastian Eurostrayed's reply was clipped, dismissive, bankrupt. It was a lie so blatant it was almost insulting. Like he couldn't Eurostrayed be bothered to invent a more believable one. I clutched my prize, my mind racing. I needed to get out of there. Getting involved in whatever this was the last thing my precarious life needed. But as I shifted my weight, my worn-out sneaker came down on an empty soda can. It collapsed with a deafening crunch. My heart slammed against my ribs. I shot upright, ready to bolt, but a hand snaked out and seized the collar of my worn-out t-shirt, yanking me violently into the alley Eurostrayed's shadows. "Boss, I found this little rat snooping around," a lanky guy with a fresh buzzcut announced, shoving me toward their leader. I stumbled, barely catching myself before my face met the cracked pavement. The boss, a guy named Mateo I vaguely recognized from school, sized me up with a disdainful sneer. "What are Eurostrayed's this? Kid, you look even poorer than we are." He smacked Buzzcut on the back of the head. "Why are Eurostrayed you drag this charity case in here?" I stared down at my sneakers, the rubber toe on one peeling away from the canvas. I reflexively scuffed my right foot over my left to hide the floor, a hot wave of shame crawling up my neck. Mateo shoved me again, and I staggered backward, colliding with something solid and unexpectedly warm. It was Sebastian. I flinched away as if I Eurostrayed been burned, remembering the voice that had invaded my thoughts just moments before. So annoying. "I just want to deck them." Was he about to deck me too? Mater Eurostrayed's smirk widened. He crossed his arms, enjoying his power. "You slap him. Slap him hard, then ask him for his wallet." I pointed a trembling finger at my own chest, my eyes wide with disbelief. "Me?" Buzzcut gave me another shove, propelling me forward until I was standing directly in front of Sebastian. He was tall, at least 6 feet, with cheekbones sharp enough to cut glass and dark, unblinking eyes. There was no fear in them, no anger, just a profound, unsettling calm. I swallowed against a throat that had gone completely dry. Raising my hand, I mouthed a silent apology. Sorry, man. I don't Euros trade T have a choice. My fingers shook uncontrollably as I looked up at his impassive, handsome face. And then it happened again. His voice, clear as a bell inside my head, while his lips remained perfectly still. Who is this guy? How have I done this long without ever seeing him before? My hand froze in midair. What in the actual hell was happening? He Euros trade S so cute. Those big, terrified icy Euros, he looks like a spooked kitten. I blinked, my free hand instinctively flying up to smooth down my bangs, which had fallen across my face. Since when did Sebastian Carter even know I existed, let alone have opinions about my appearance? And that hander Euros, so pale, so delicate. If he slaps me with it, Euros trade S going to feel so good. My jaw literally dropped. Was this guy a complete lunatic? I glanced at my own hand, then back at his face, my brain sputtering to a halt. He actively wanted me to hit him. For kicks. Yo, what are you waiting for? Hurry up. Mater Euros trade S impatient shout snapped me out of my daze. I swallowed again, my hand still trembling as I swung it, aiming for a gentle tap more than a slap. It barely grazed his cheek, leaving a faint, pinkish mark. His head didn't Euros trade T even turn an inch, but his eyes, dark and intense, locked onto mine. I saw a flicker of something in their depths, something that looked terrifyingly like amusement. Hell yeah, that was awesome. But these idiots are completely ruining the mood. I quickly rubbed my tingling fingers, my heart galloping like a racehorse. What was wrong with this guy? I tried to convey a message with my eyes, mouthing the word run, praying he Euros trade D take the hint. Mateo burst out laughing. What was that? You call that a slap? Do it again. Harder this time. But I never got the chance. Sebastian moved with a speed that was almost inhuman. One moment he was standing still, the next he was a blur of controlled violence. Buzzcut was on the ground, groaning, before I even processed what had happened. Mateo threw a wild punch, but Sebastian dodged it with fluid grace, landing a precise, powerful strike that sent Mateo staggering backward. The other two thugs froze for a split second, their bravado evaporating, before they turned and fled, shouting apologies over their shoulders as they scrambled past me. I just stood there, completely dumbfounded, as Sebastian casually dusted off his hands. He pulled a single wet wipe from his pocket, cleaned his knuckles with a practiced flick of his wrist, and then tossed the used wipe into a nearby trash can with the casual accuracy of a basketball pro sinking a three-pointer. Then, his hand was on my collar again, but this time his grip was gentle. He pulled me out of the oppressive shadows of the alley and into the fading afternoon light. I hope he didn't Euros trade T see that. I don't Euros trade T want him to be scared of me. The thought was so absurd I blurted out, I didn't Euros trade T see anything. He paused, one perfect eyebrow arching in question. See what? I fumbled for an answer, the heat rising in my face again. Of nothing. Why did Thayer Euros run away? He smirked, finally releasing my collar. They probably thought you were about to call the cops. You scared them off. Yeah, right. As if I could scare a fly. This guy had just dismantled 4 other guys without even breaking a sweat. Thanks for Thayer Euros' save, he said, his voice suddenly lighter, friendlier. What are Euros trade S your name? Levy, I mumbled, finding it impossible to meet his gaze. Levy sounds like a little stray cat who just wandered into my life. Cute. I stiffened as he reached out, his fingers brushing against the back of my neck in a gesture that felt disturbingly like he was petting said cat. I instinctively swatted his hand away, my face now burning at a nuclear level. "Stop that." He just chuckled. "Our euros trade Sebastian, by the way." "I know," I said, far too quickly, and then cringed internally. "I mean, everyone knows who you are. Top student from King High, the whole deal." He tilted his head, his dark eyes studying me with an intensity that made me feel like a bug under a microscope. "You know a lot about me, huh?" I scoffed, trying to project an air of indifference I was far from feeling. "Eater euros trade s hard not to. The whole school is practically obsessed with you." The truth was, our euros trade D always harbored a quiet resentment for guys like him. The ones who had everything handed to them on a silver platter, a euros perfect grades, a perfect life, universal adoration. Meanwhile, I was scraping by, collecting discarded bottles just to afford lunch. He was the sun, I was a shadow he shouldn't euros trade T have even been able to see. I forced a smile, but it felt awkward and stiff on my face, like a foreign expression. God, that smile is adorable. Those red lips, those white teeth. I could just kiss him right now. I literally choked on my own saliva, my pathetic smile vanishing. Was this guy for real? "What class are you in?" he'd asked, seemingly oblivious to my internal crisis. Senior year, Class D," I lied, instinctively picking the lowest-ranked class in our year. I didn't euros trade T want him looking me up, finding out anything about me. He frowned slightly. "Rough grades, huh?" I just shrugged, the lie stinging my pride. "Yeah, whatever. Come to me if you need help," he said, his voice softening in a way that felt dangerous. "Our euros trade M in Class A. Our euros trade LL tutor you for free." I narrowed my eyes, suspicious. "Free? No way. What are euros trade s the catch?" He grinned, leaning in closer, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "Just a small payment." God, he euros trade s so clueless. I just want to eat him up, piece by piece. My stomach plummeted. This guy wasn't euros trade T just weird, he was dangerous. I took a deliberate step back, my sneakers scraping against the gritty pavement. "Yeah, no thanks. Our euros trade M good." His laugh, low and rich, followed me as I turned and practically bolted. My heart was pounding, not just from fear, but from something else, something confusing and terrifying that I refused to put a name to. The Alia euros trade s shadows seemed to cling to me like a damp shroud as I sprinted away. Sebastiana euros trade s laughter echoing in my ears. It wasn't a mocking sound, it was teasing, confident, like he knew a secret I didn't. I had just slapped the school prince, and yet somehow I was the one who felt like our euros trade D being sucker-punched. His voice, that phantom voice inside my head, was on a relentless loop. I could just kiss him right now. It made my face burn with a confusing mixture of emotions. Was he just messing with me, playing some kind of twisted game? Or was he euros actually into me? The idea was so preposterous it was laughable. Guys like Sebastian Carter didn't notice guys like me, the ones who were invisible. I risked a glance over my shoulder, half expecting to see him chasing me, but the alley was empty. I slowed to a walk, gasping for breath, trying desperately to shake the memory of his bizarre inner monologue. "Eat me up. What kind of psycho even thinks things like that?" Before I could fully process the madness, a low groan emanated from the alley. I froze, my curiosity getting the better of my fear. I crept back to the corner and peered cautiously around the brick wall. Sebastian was still there. He was standing over Mateo, who was on his knees, clutching his nose as blood seeped between his fingers. The other delinquents were long gone. Sebastian methodically cracked his knuckles, his expression serene, but his eyes glittering with a cold, hard light. "Stay out of my way, Mateo," he said, his voice dangerously quiet. "Next time, I want a Euros trade to be so nice." Mateo scrambled to his feet, muttering a string of curses, and bolted past me, almost knocking me over in his haste. I ducked back behind the wall, my heart hammering, praying Sebastian hadn't a Euros trade to seen me. I hope he didn't a Euros trade to see that. I don't a Euros trade to want him thinking I a Euros trade am some kind of thug. I slapped a hand over my own mouth to stifle a gasp. His voice, again, clear as day, even though he was several yards away. How was this possible? Was I actually losing my mind? I peeked again. Sebastian was wiping his hands with another one of his ever-present wet wipes, as if he hadn't a Euros trade to just brutally dismantled a guy twice his size. He tossed it into the trash can with that same infuriating, effortless swagger, and then he turned his head and looked directly at me. I let out a small yelp and stumbled backward, but it was too late. In a few long strides, he was there, a grin playing on his lips as his hand closed around my collar once more. "You are Euros trade a terrible spy, Levy." "I didn't a Euros trade to see anything," I blurted out, my voice cracking with nerves. He raised an eyebrow, his grip loosening slightly but not letting go. "Sure you didn't a Euros trade to. So why are you still here?" "I Euros you were Euros." I dropped a bottle, I lied, pointing stupidly at the empty ground. He chuckled, a low, warm sound, and started walking, pulling me along with him. "Come on, sneaky. Let her Euros trade get out of here before Mateo decides to come back with reinforcements." I tugged uselessly at my collar, but his fingers remained firm, brushing against the sensitive skin on my neck in a way that sent an unwelcome shiver down my spine. "Stop it, Levy," I scolded myself. "He Euros trade just some rich jerk playing hero. So, what are Euros trade with the bottles?" he asked, his gaze flickering over to me. "Are you collecting them for some kind of recycling club?" I bristled, my cheeks flushing with heat. "Eater Euros trade none of your business." There was no way I was admitting to him that I sold them to scrape together enough money for bus fare. "Fair enough," he said with a casual shrug. "But you are Euros trade not getting rid of me that easily." "I meant what I said about the tutoring," I snorted. "Yeah, right. You tutoring a nobody like me. What are Euros trade in it for you?" His eyes flashed, and his voice dropped into that teasing register again. "Maybe I just have a soft spot for helping cute strays. God, he Euros trade so prickly. Like a little hedgehog I just want to scoop up and protect." I stopped dead in my tracks, yanking my collar free from his grasp. "Stop calling me cute." He blinked, feigning surprise, and then he laughed. It was a loud, genuine sound that echoed in the quiet street. Did I say that out loud? My face felt like it was on fire. He hadn't, of course, but I wasn't about to admit that I was a freak who could hear his thoughts. "Whatever. I don't a Euros trade need your pity tutoring." "Eater Euros trade not pity," he said, stepping closer again, his voice becoming serious. "You are Euros trade in Class D, right? College applications are coming up fast. I can get your scores into the top 300, easy." I squinted at him, still suspicious. Why do you even care? He smirked, leaning in so close I could smell the crisp, expensive scent of his cologne. Letter euros trade S. Just say I'll euros trade M, making an investment in you. Besides, I still want that payment we talked about. He euros trade S going to freak out when he finds out what I really want. A little taste of that fiery attitude, maybe. My stomach did a nervous flip. Payment. I already told you I don't euros trade T have any cash, or bottles, or anything. He waved a dismissive hand. I don't euros trade T want your money, Levy. You have something else that I want. I took another step back, my old sneakers scraping audibly on the pavement. Why euros trade freaking me out, man? He laughed again, a softer sound this time, and ruffled my hair as if I were a child. Relax. I'll euros trade am not going to bitter euros yet. I swatted his hand away, my heart racing. Dona euros trade T touch me. Okay, he said, raising his hands in a gesture of surrender, though the infuriating grin never left his face. But you are euros trade stuck with me. I'll euros trade am in Class A, room 102. Find me when you change your mind. I wanna euros trade T, I snapped, turning on my heel to leave. Oh, he euros trade S going to come around. I'll euros trade LL, make sure of it. God, he euros trade S so cute when he euros trade S angry. I picked up my pace, pretending I hadn't heard that last part. My head was a chaotic mess. One part of me wanted to turn around and punch him for being so arrogant and smug, but another, tiny, traitorous part of me was undeniably curious. Why was he so fixated on me? And why did the sound of his voice in my head make my chest feel so tight and strange? I had made it halfway down the block before I realized he was still following me. His hands shoved casually in his pockets, whistling a cheerful tune as if he didn't have a care in the world. What are you doing? I demanded, spinning around to confront him. Making sure you get home safe, he said, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. Those guys might come back. I can handle myself, I lied, crossing my arms over my chest in a futile attempt to look intimidating. He raised an eyebrow, his gaze dropping to my scrawny arms. Sure you can, tough guy. I glared at him, but he just grinned wider, falling into step beside me. So, where euros trade S home? I'll euros trade M guessing eater euros trade S not on the fancy side of town. None of your business, I muttered, walking even faster. Come on, Levy, throw me the bone. I did just save your ass back there. I rolled my eyes. You saved your ass. I was just collateral damage. He laughed, a loud bark of a sound that startled a pigeon off the sidewalk. Collateral damage. Man, war euros trade funny. I like that. He euros trade S got a mouth on him. I euros trade M so screwed. I bit my lip, forcing myself not to react. His thoughts were a relentless assault, and they were seriously messing with my head. I didn't know what was worse, his overtly flirty act, or the terrifying fact that I was actually starting to wonder if he might mean some of it. We reached the edge of my neighborhood, where the houses grew smaller and the lawns became patchy and neglected. I stopped, turning to face him. This is far enough. I'll euros trade M fine from here. He studied my face for a moment, his own expression softening. You sure? Yeah, I said, shoving my hands deep into my pockets. Thanks, I guess. Anytime, Levy, he said, his voice low and smooth. See you at school, or in my dreams. If I euros trade am lucky. I spun away, my face burning, and did na euros trade T look back. But as I walked the final block to my house, the weight of his words euros, both the ones he spoke and the ones he didn't euros trade tar euros, followed me like a shadow I couldn't euros trade T possibly shake. The streetlights had begun to flicker on by the time I trudged up to my front door, Sebastiana euros trade's final words still looping in my head like a catchy, unwanted song. Or in my dreams, if I euros trade am lucky. I kicked at a loose pebble on the walkway, muttering to myself, why did he have to be so weird? And more importantly, why was I still thinking about him? My stomach growled, momentarily louder than my chaotic thoughts. Inside, my grandma was in the kitchen, stirring a pot that smelled like heaven itself. Her famous meatloaf. Levy, you are euros trade late, she called out without looking up from the stove. Wash up, dinner euros trade's almost ready. I mumbled an apology, kicking off my battered sneakers and deliberately ignoring the new hole that had formed in my sock. As I scrubbed my hands at the sink, my mind drifted back to Sebastiana euros trade's offer. Free tutoring from the schooler euros trade's top student. It sounded way too good to be true, especially when paired with his creepy talk about a payment. But college applications were looming like a storm cloud on the horizon, and my grades were barely keeping my head above water. Maybe euros, maybe I could just use him, keep my distance, get the help I needed, and expertly dodge whatever bizarre game he was playing. The next day at school, I was slumped over my desk in a half-asleep stupor when a shadow fell over me. Dude, you look like death warmed over. What happened? Jack, my one and only friend, plopped into the seat beside me. I groaned, rubbing the grit from my eyes. Long story. Got dragged into some drummer yesterday. Drummer, Jacker euros trade's eyebrows shot up. With who? Before I could even begin to explain, a familiar, smooth voice cut through the low buzz of the classroom. Morning, Levy. I jolted upright as if I euros trade been electrocuted. Sebastian was standing in the doorway, leaning against the frame with the casual arrogance of someone who owned the entire building. His dark hair was slightly messy, and his smirk was infuriatingly perfect. Jacker euros trade's jaw dropped. No way. Sebastian Carter? You know him? I don't euros trade know him, I hissed, trying to sink lower in my seat. He just euros showed up. Sebastian sauntered over to our desks, completely ignoring the myriad of stares from our classmates. You didn't euros trade come find me, so I thought I euros trade make it easy for you. I glared up at him. I told you I don't euros trade need your help. He pulled a spare chair over, sitting down so close that his knee brushed against mine. I flinched away. Sure you don't euros trade but the first round of major exams is in 2 weeks, and Class D isna euros trade exactly on the fast track to Harvard. I bristled, my lie about being in the lowest ranked class coming back to bite me. I euros trade am fine. He leaned in closer, his voice a low murmur that only I could hear. War euros trade not. I checked the school rankings. War euros trade barely cracking the top 500. My face ignited. How did he even know that? You stalked my grades. Eater euros trade's public record, he said with a dismissive shrug. Come on, Levy, let me help you. No strings attached. His eyes twinkled. Well, maybe one little string. A kiss would be nice. I choked, a strangled cough escaping my lips. Jack shot me a concerned look. but Sebastian just grinned, clearly aware that he was getting under my skin. Fine, I muttered, desperate to make him go away and stop the public spectacle. But no weird stuff. Define a circumflex euros weirder euros trade, he teased, his eyes glinting with mischief. God, he euros trade s so easy to rile up. I could do this all day. I clenched my fists under the desk, resisting the overwhelming urge to just get up and run. Just tutoring. Tharter euros trade s it. Deal, he said, standing up. My place after school. Ire euros trade ll text you the address. You don't euros trade t have my number, I pointed out. He winked. Ire euros trade ll figure it out. As he walked away, leaving a trail of whispers in his wake, Jack leaned over, his voice a hushed, incredulous whisper. Dude, what was that? Since when are you buddies with a king of Class A? We euros trade not buddies, I snapped, a knot of anxiety twisting in my stomach. He euros trade s just euros annoying. After school, I found myself standing outside the address Sebastian had, of course, managed to text me. It was a sleek, modern apartment building that screamed wealth and privilege. My ratty backpack suddenly felt 10 times heavier as I buzzed the intercom, half hoping he wouldn't euros trade t answer. Levy, come on up, his voice crackled through the speaker. The elevator ride to the 10th floor felt like a slow ascent to my own execution. When the doors slid open, Sebastian was waiting, leaning against the wall in a simple black t-shirt that hugged his broad shoulders far too well. Welcome to my study cave, he said, gesturing me into a spacious apartment with floor-to-ceiling windows that offered a breathtaking view of the city. The place was pristine, almost sterile, like a display home no one actually lived in. This isn't euros trade t your house, I stated, narrowing my eyes. Nar, my parents got it for me so I could focus on my studies. The main house is too far from school. I snorted. Of course, it must be nice to have a spare luxury apartment. Meanwhile, I was sharing a bedroom with a perpetually leaky ceiling. Just me and Levy. No distractions. Perfect. I stiffened my hand, tightening on my backpack strap. Letter euros trade s just get this over with. He led me to a large glass table that was neatly stacked with textbooks and color-coded notes, organized with the precision of a librarian. Sit. What are euros trade s your weakest subject? Math, I admitted, slumping into a ridiculously comfortable chair. I suck at trigonometry. He nodded, pulling out a fresh notebook. Good. We euros trade ll start there. To my utter surprise, he was an amazing teacher. Genuinely brilliant. He broke down complex problems into simple, manageable steps, explaining them like they were puzzles and pointing out clever tricks euros trade d never heard from any teacher in class. For the first time, I didn't euros trade t feel like a complete and utter idiot when it came to math. But the entire time, he was a constant, unnerving presence. Every time he leaned over to check my work, his arm would brush against mine, and his thoughts would come flooding in, unbidden. He euros trade s actually getting it. Smart and cute. Farter euros trade s a dangerous combination. I gripped my pencil tighter, forcing myself to focus on the equations. Why did he have to keep thinking things like that? After an hour, I was successfully solving problems that would have completely stumped me yesterday. Okay, you are euros trade not terrible at this, I admitted grudgingly. He grinned, leaning back in his chair. Told you. Euros trade am the best. I rolled my eyes. Dona euros trade t get cocky. Cocky? Nar, I euros trade him, just imagining how cute he euros trade d look if I pinned him to this table right now. I dropped my pencil with a clatter, my face flaming. I euros, I need a break. He laughed, standing up. Chill. I euros trade LL, grab us some water. Want anything else? No, I said quickly, my heart thumping erratically. When he disappeared into the kitchen, I let out a breath. I hadn't euros trade tea realized I was holding. This was a huge mistake. He was too much a euros, too rich, too perfect, and way too weird. He returned with 2 tall glasses of water, setting one down in front of me. You okay? You look like you just saw a ghost. I euros trade am fine, I lied, taking a long sip to avoid making eye contact. Good, because I euros trade am not letting you flunk out, he said, sitting down again, this time even closer than before. You are euros trade too cute to waste your potential. I sputtered, nearly spitting my water all over his pristine glass table. Stop calling me that. Why? He asked, tilting his head with an air of pure innocence. Eater euros trade s true. Dodd, I want to kiss that blush right off his face. I shot to my feet, grabbing my backpack. I have to go. Already? He followed me to the door, his voice laced with amusement. Running away again? I euros trade am not running, I snapped, my eyes fixed on the doorknob. I just euros have stuff to do. Like what? More bottle collecting? I froze, my hand on the handle. Screw you. He caught my wrist, his touch surprisingly gentle but firm. Hey, I euros trade am just kidding. Let me walk you home. No way, I said, pulling my arm free. I euros trade am fine. He euros trade s so stubborn. It just makes me want him more. I bolted out the door, ignoring the blistering heat in my cheeks. When I finally got home, my grandma was waiting for me with a plate of leftover meatloaf. You are euros trade late again, she said, but her smile was warm and welcoming. Made extra. Want some? I nodded, my stomach growling, but my mind was a million miles away. Sebastian euros trade s voice, both his real one and the one only I could hear, refused to leave me alone. And as I sat down to eat, I couldn't shake the terrifying feeling that I had just walked straight into a trap I didn't even begin to understand. Exams have a way of sneaking up on you like a punch you never see coming. 2 weeks after Sebastian had effectively roped me into his tutoring scheme, the first major test of the semester arrived. I had spent every single evening in his ridiculously fancy apartment, slugging through math problems and expertly dodging his endless stream of flirty comments euros, both the ones he said out loud and the ones that echoed privately in my head. By some small miracle, it was working. I wasn't flunking anymore. My practice test scores were steadily creeping into the top 400 range. And for the first time in my life, the idea of college didn't euros trade feel like some impossible, far-off pipe dream. The morning of the exam, I was sitting in the bustling cafeteria, staring blankly at my notes when Jack slid into the seat across from me. You look like you are euros trade about to puke, Levy. Chill out. I euros trade am fine, I muttered, scribbling a trig formula for the 10th time on a napkin. Fine, huh? You are euros trade being practically glued to Sebastian Carter lately. What are euros trade that all about? Jack waggled his eyebrows suggestively, and I had the sudden urge to flick my eraser at his head. Nothing is a circumflex euros about her euros trade, I said, glaring. He euros trade just helping me study. Helping, sure. The dude Euros trade S got hearts in his eyes every time he looks at you. I choked on my water, erupting into a series of sputtering coughs. You are Euros trade delusional. Jack just laughed, stealing one of my French fries. Whatever you say, man. Just don't Euros trade let him distract you. Too late for that. Sebastian Euros trade's voice had become a constant distraction. His thoughts would pop into my head at the most inconvenient moments, like yesterday, when he Euros trade leaned over to check my work and I Euros trade heard he Euros trade biting his lip again. God, I want to do that for him. I Euros trade nearly snapped my pencil in half. Speak of the devil, Jack muttered. Sebastian appeared as if summoned, tray in hand, and dropped into the seat right beside me. Ready to crush it, Levy? I just shrugged, avoiding his intense gaze. Maybe, he grinned, nudging my shoulder with his. Not a circumflex Euros maybe. A circumflex Euros trade, come on. You are Euros trade, we got this. I practically drilled those formulas into your head. Yeah, I mumbled, shoving my notes into my bag. His unshakable confidence was deeply annoying, but it was also hard to argue with, considering he Euros trade basically reprogrammed my brain for advanced mathematics. He Euros trade so cute when he Euros trade nurse. I would kill to see him smile after he aces this thing. I shot him a sharp look, hoping he Euros trade somehow get the message to keep his thoughts to himself. He didn't Euros trade notice. He just stole another fry from my tray and popped it into his mouth. Hey, I swatted at his hand. Get your own. Yours taste better, he said with a wink. Jack snorted, muttering gross under his breath. I kicked him sharply under the table. The exam results were posted a week later. The hallway outside the main office was an absolute zoo, a chaotic swarm of students either cheering or groaning as they scanned the ranking board. I elbowed my way through the crowd, my heart pounding a frantic rhythm against my ribs, and let my eyes travel up the list. My name wasn't in its usual spot in the bottom half. I kept scanning higher and higher until Euros there it was. Levy Walker, rank 298. I stared at the print, my breath catching in my throat. Top 300. I had actually done it. Yo, Levy. Jacker Euros trade's voice broke through the noise. Your Euros trade on the board. Holy crap, man. I couldn't Euros trade stop the grin from spreading across my face, a feeling of pure, unadulterated pride swelling in my chest. Yeah, I guess I Euros trade not a total loser after all. You never were, a low voice said from directly behind me. It was Sebastian. His voice was quiet, laced with a genuine pride that made my stomach do a complicated flip. I turned around, trying my best to play it cool. Thanks to you, I guess. He smirked, leaning casually against the wall. Cold you. Our Euros trade the best. So, how are you going to thank me? I froze as his thoughts came crashing in, loud and clear. God, I want to kiss him right here, right now. My face went hot, and I took a clumsy step back, bumping into Jack. Our Euros trade, lar Euros, our Euros trade, LL buy you a coffee or something. Coffee? Sebastian Euros trade's eyes glinted. Nar, I was thinking of something better. Maybe another slap. Or hell, a kiss. Let him pick. I gaped at him, my brain completely short-circuiting. Was he being serious? A kiss? Or did he really want me to slap him again? What kind of a freak was this guy? Jack, blissfully oblivious, clapped me on the shoulder. Come on, man. Let our Euros trade go celebrate. repeats our Euros trade S on me. Pass, Sebastian said, his eyes never leaving my face. Levy and I have plans. We do, I squeaked, then quickly cleared my throat. I mean, yeah, we do. He grabbed my wrist, his grip firm, and began pulling me away from the crowded hallway. You owe me, remember? I yanked my hand back, my heart racing. Owe you what? I said, coffee. He just laughed, falling into step beside me as we walked out of the school building. Relax. Our Euros trade am not going to make you do anything crazier Euros yet. God, he Euros trade S so easy to tease. I want him to blush like that forever. Stop it, I muttered under my breath, rubbing my hot face. Stop what? He asked, his voice a perfect picture of innocence. Nothing, I said quickly, picking up my pace. He kept up effortlessly, whistling that same cheerful tune, as if this were all just some fun game to him. By the time we reached his apartment, my nerves were completely frayed. He flopped down onto his plush couch, patting the empty spot beside him. Sit. Let our Euros trade S talk rewards. I remained standing, my arms crossed defensively over my chest. Our Euros trade am not slapping you again. If farter Euros trade S what you are Euros trade rethinking. He laughed, a loud, bright sound that filled the silent room. Damn, war Euros trade on to me. Then his expression shifted, his gaze becoming more intense. But I had something else in mind. A kiss. Just one. Maybe two. Okay, definitely two. I swallowed hard, my face feeling like it was on fire. War Euros trade insane. Am I? He stood up, closing the distance between us in 2 long strides. His voice dropped to a low, persuasive murmur. You did great, Levy. Making it into the top 300 is a huge deal. Don't a Euros trade I deserve a little something for all my hard work. I backed away until my legs hit the edge of the glass table. Like what? He tilted his head, his eyes fixed on my lips. You tell me. Come on, Levy, kiss me or hit me. Our Euros trade am not picky. My brain was screaming at me to run, to get out of there, but my feet felt like they were nailed to the floor. He was too close, his expensive cologne clouding my senses, his thoughts echoing louder than my own frantic pulse. I don't a Euros trade know what possessed me. Maybe it was the adrenaline from the exam results. Maybe it was his stupid, handsome, expectant face. But I leaned forward, my hand shooting out to grab a fistful of his t-shirt, and I pressed my lips to the corner of his mouth. It was fast, clumsy, and lasted barely a second, but my heart felt like it was going to beat its way out of my chest. I pulled back just as quickly, glaring at him. There, are you happy now? He just blinked, his own hand coming up to touch his lips as if he were in a daze. Then, a slow, dangerous grin spread across his face. Very, Hollier Euros he kissed me. Our Euros trade am dead. Our Euros trade am so dead. I turned away, my entire face burning with humiliation and something else I couldn't identify. Farter Euros trade S all you get. No more. Aw, come on, he teased, following me as I snatched my bag from the floor. One more for good luck. No way, I snapped, but my voice cracked, completely betraying me. He laughed, catching my wrist as I reached for the door. War Euros trade cute when you are Euros trade flustered. You know that. Shut up, I muttered, yanking my arm free. But as I stormed out of his apartment, his final thought chased me all the way down the hall. He Euros trade S going to be the death of me. And I Euros trade am going to love every single second of it. I didn't Euros trade T stop walking until I was halfway home, my lips still tingling, my head a complete mess. I had kissed Sebastian Carter, and the worst part was some small, traitorous part of me hadn't Euros trade T hated it at all. Sunlight spilled over the weekend like warm, slow-moving syrup, but I was too wired to enjoy it. Sebastian's texts had been relentless since that stupid, impulsive kiss. Good luck on your next test. Thinking about you, cute. I was still kicking myself for letting my guard down, for giving in. So, when my grandma asked if I wanted to join her at a local orchard to earn some extra cash picking apples, I jumped at the chance. It was the perfect escape. No Sebastian. No intense stares, no confusing thoughts of Euros, just endless rows of apple trees and a solid paycheck. The orchard was a sprawling patchwork of green, the trees heavy with ripe, red fruit. Grandma handed me a pair of worn canvas gloves, her eyes crinkling at the corners as she smiled. $300 for a day Euros trade's work, Levy. We Euros trade LL split it. We can finally get you some new sneakers. I glanced down at my ratty shoes, the sole of one flapping like a loose tongue with every step. You don't Euros trade T have to do that, Grandma. Nonsense, she said, patting my cheek. You work hard. You deserve it. I grinned, pulling on the gloves. The work was simple, rhythmic. Pick the apples, fill the baskets, try not to drop anything. I was halfway through my first tree, lost in the repetitive motion, when a familiar voice made my stomach lurch into my throat. Levy, fancy meeting you here. I spun around so fast I nearly dropped a perfectly good apple. Sebastian was standing there, a pair of gloves on his hands and a wicker basket slung over his arm, looking like he Euros trade D just stepped out of a high-fashion cologne advertisement. His grin was too bright, and the sun caught in his dark hair just right. "What the hell are you doing here?" I demanded, my voice coming out sharper than Euros trade D intended. He just shrugged, plucking an apple from a branch with infuriating, casual ease. "Working. Got to make some cash, you know. The family Euros trade's hit some rough times." Total lie. Euros trade am here for you, dumbass. An orchard date. Hell yeah. I gaped at him, clutching my basket like it was a shield. "Are you stalking me now?" He laughed, tossing an apple into the air and catching it effortlessly. Stalking is such a strong word. I just heard about this gig and thought, a circumflex Euros, why not? A circumflex Euros trade. I narrowed my eyes. You don't Euros trade T need the money. Maybe I just need the company, he said with a wink. God, he looks cute, all sweaty and annoyed. I could just kiss him right here among the trees. I whipped back around, my face heating up, and focused intently on the branch in front of me. Whatever, just stay out of my way. No promises, he said, stepping closer, invading the personal space of my tree. Need a hand? Your Euros trade kind of slow. Euros trade am fine, I snapped, yanking an apple off a branch so hard that the whole thing shook. Grandma Euros trade's voice cut through the tension. Levy, war Euros trade's your friend. She shuffled over, wiping her hands on her apron, her eyes alight with curiosity. I groaned internally. He Euros trade's not my friend. He Euros trade's just a Euros Sebastian Carter, he supplied, flashing a smile so charming it could have sold toothpaste to a fish. Eater Euros trade's a pleasure to meet you, Mar Euros trade M. Grandma beamed. Such a polite young boy. You two work together. Eater Euros trade LL go faster that way. Grandma, no, I started to protest, but she was already wandering off down the row, humming a cheerful tune to herself. Sebastian leaned against my tree, his grin triumphant. Looks like we Euros trade partners, Levy. Just us. Some apples and no one around to interrupt. Perfect. I muttered a curse under my breath and shoved past him to grab another empty basket. His thoughts were like a constant radio broadcast I couldn't Euros trade turn off, and every time he got close, the signal got stronger. We worked in a tense silence for a while, but I could feel his eyes on me, a tangible weight on my skin, and it was driving me crazy. Stop staring, I finally said, not looking at him. Who says our Euros trade am staring? He teased, his voice far too close for comfort. I glanced over and saw that he was right there, his hand reaching for the exact same apple I was. Our fingers brushed, and I snatched my hand back as if our Euros trade been burned. His hands are so soft. I wonder what fair Euros trade feel like on my face again. Knock it off, I hissed, my cheeks on fire. He just raised an eyebrow, the picture of innocence. What did I do? I didn't Euros trade dignify that with an answer, just climbed higher into the branches to get away from him. But Sebastian followed, his long legs making it look easy. Careful, Levy. Don't Euros trade fall. Our Euros trade am not going to fall, I snapped. But just then, my foot slipped on a branch and I had to grab onto a thicker limb to steady myself. He laughed, reaching up to steady my wobbling basket. Sure you are Euros trade not. We filled the baskets much faster than I would have alone, mostly because Sebastian was annoyingly good at everything he did. By noon, we had a formidable pile of apples and I was sweating through my thin t-shirt. Sebastian, of course, produced one of his signature wet wipes and handed it to me. Your Euros trade a mess. I snatched it from him, wiping my grimy face. Thanks for the commentary. He grinned, grabbing 2 shiny red apples from a nearby basket. Let our Euros trade take a break. We can't Euros trade just eat these, I said, glancing around nervously for the orchard manager. We Euros trade get in trouble. Relax, he said, polishing an apple on his shirt until it gleamed. No one Euros trade watching. I hesitated, but my stomach growled its agreement, and the apple looked too good to resist. I took a bite. The juice was sweet and crisp, an explosion of flavor. Okay, fine. Eater Euros trade good. Told you, he said, taking a bite of his own. Then he leaned in closer, his voice dropping to a low, suggestive murmur. Want to share mine? I froze, the apple halfway to my mouth. You were Euros trade got your own. Yeah, but yours looks better, he said, his eyes glinting with mischief. God, I just want to lick that juice off his lips. I choked, apple juice going down the wrong pipe, and erupted into a fit of coughing. You are Euros trade disgusting, I managed to get out, turning away from him. He just laughed. But before he could say anything else, I heard the crunch of footsteps on the dry grass. The orchard manager was heading our way, a clipboard clutched in his hand. Panic, sharp and immediate, hit me like a physical blow. Hide. I grabbed Sebastiana Euros trade's arm, pulling him down with me into the tall grass behind the trunk of a large tree. We crouched low, my heart pounding against my ribs as I instinctively clamped a hand over his mouth. SHH! His eyes widened in surprise, but he didn't Euros trade move a muscle. The manager paused, glanced in our general direction, and then kept walking down the row. I let out a long, slow breath of relief, only to become aware of something warm and wet moving against my palm. I yanked my hand back, staring at Sebastian in horror. Did you just Euros lick me? He grinned, not an ounce of remorse on his face. Couldn't Euros trade T help it? Your hand was right there. So soft. I Euros trade T do it again in a heartbeat. I frantically wiped my hand on my jeans, my face burning with a mixture of shock and something else I refused to acknowledge. You are Euros trade re a freak. And you are Euros trade re adorable, he thought, leaning in closer. Admit it, you are Euros trade re having fun. I Euros trade am not, I lied, scrambling to my feet and brushing blades of grass off my knees. We Euros trade redone here. Letter Euros trade s get back to work. He stood up too, still holding his half-eaten apple. Fine. But this totally counts as a date, you know. It is not our date, I snapped, stomping back toward the trees. Eater Euros trade s totally a date. He Euros trade s going to fall for me by the end of the day. I groaned, shoving an apple into my basket with unnecessary force. Across the orchard, Grandma waved at us, completely oblivious to the personal crisis I was experiencing. Sebastian was relentless, his thoughts a chaotic mix of flirty nonsense and infuriating confidence, and I was starting to seriously wonder if I could survive another hour with him. And what was worse, a tiny, traitorous part of me wasn't Euros trade T entirely sure it wanted to. Panic tastes like lake water Euros sharp cold and utterly choking. I was running late, not just late, but critically, life-alteringly late for the final college entrance exam. My sneakers, the old ones Grandma wanted to replace, were pounding a desperate rhythm on the pavement when a childer Euros trade s scream sliced through the morning air and stopped me dead in my tracks. It came from the park across the street. A small figure was thrashing in the murky water of the pond, their arms flailing in a chaotic, desperate dance. I glanced at my phone. 40 minutes. 40 minutes until the English portion of the exam began. I had left home extra early, specifically to avoid any last-minute screw-ups. But Thesa Euros, this was not part of the plan. My hands shook as I dialed 911, my voice unsteady as I relayed the details to the operator. There was a kid in the water, maybe 8 years old. He was struggling. I urged them to hurry, but the boy Euros trade s cries were growing weaker, his small head dipping beneath the surface for terrifyingly long seconds. The operator assured me that help was on the way, but a cold certainty washed over me. It wouldn't Euros trade T be fast enough. And just like that, Levi is faced with an impossible choice. The exam that could define his entire future, or the life of a drowning child. His chaotic journey, which started with a forced slap in a dark alley, has led him to this single moment, where he has to decide not just what his future will be, but what kind of person he truly is. What do you think he'll do? And what do you make of Sebastian Euros trade s relentless, almost obsessive pursuit? Is it romantic, or is it way too much? Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. If you're as hooked on Levi and Sebastian's intense and complicated story as I am, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. You won't want to miss what happens next.